AEW Fight Forever is releasing Season 2.
Nice.
But is it worth it? It feels like Fight Forever is finally going to be updating the game and giving players even more to look forward to. And there's a lot to unpack with all of this Season 2 content.
Hippity poppity, give me the zobbity.
Yes, sir.
But please comment below of this video. Let's have a conversation because I want to know your thoughts on all of it as we go through this. And if you enjoy the content, hit subscribe. Let's talk new wrestlers for a second. We have found out through the leaks online, not by me, but by other people, we have found out that we are going to be getting Toni Storm and the Acclaimed to kick things off for Season 2. The Acclaimed's tag team entrance is selectable in the game. I wish Fight Forever would honestly give us full entrances so we could fully enjoy it. We're also getting Toni Storm, according to all of the leaks that we have seen. AEW FF Leaks Online is the one who has posted the content that I'm showing off here. But from the roster itself, just looking at that for a second, is that enough for Season 2? If that is all we are going to get for a Season 2 drop, is that enough for you to pick up the next batch of DLC content?
Nope.
I'm hopeful that AEW is going to be doing this in the form of more traditional DLC packs or individual wrestlers to buy. Meaning, I hope that we get Toni Storm and the Acclaimed as one single DLC pack that might be $5 to $10, or wrapped into the entire season pass of whatever that may end up costing us. You gotta think that with what we saw for Season 1, they gave us 3 different DLC packs, which included wrestlers and mini games. So hopefully this is only the first round of DLC that they have planned for this season, and they give us way more. I do understand though, if they are going to do multiple seasons of content drops, they do need to space out the wrestlers. Otherwise, I don't know what else fans are going to be coming back for in terms of additional content.
I'm not sure I'm interested in that.
But we already know that we're missing the likes of Big Bill. Billy Gunn isn't in there either. Adam Copeland, I think, is going to be a big one they're going to want to release down the road so that they could really hype it up. I mean, there's the Guns. You can go for the Bang Bang Gang entirely. Sky Blue, Claudio. There's so many people on the roster that are not included in the game. The roster has not been my biggest issue when it comes to the game. It's been core gameplay, and it has been the lack of addition of modes and variety for me to get my hands on and really enjoy. But that looks like it's actually going to change.
Oh my God!
What is it?
It looks like the game is going to be releasing a mode called Beat the Elite, where you're going to take your wrestler and go through 10 matches. The higher the difficulty, the tougher your opponent will be. And aside from the difficulty settings, each opponent you face will also be increasingly harder. To pause there for a second, I love this idea of this mode, but let me know what you think. For me, this is awesome.
Nice.
Is this getting into the realm of traditional match types that we're hoping for? No, but this is what I'd rather have than Stadium Stampede.
How dare you, sir? You're gross.
This reminds me of Mortal Kombat. I love the idea of going through a challenge, climbing a ladder, playing it kind of over and over again. Trying my hands at different difficulties and getting different rewards for completing all of the challenges. A tower system like this with baked-in rewards they're not paywalled in my faction is a good thing. They also highlight the rewards being you can earn the following rewards by beating the mode: player icons, t-shirts, wrestler reskins, earn more luxurious player icons and wrestler reskins on higher difficulties, and different t-shirts are awarded on each difficulty. This is a great incentive to get back into the game, I think, and for players to just enjoy a mode and get actual rewards out of it. It's what I wish 2K would do on their side. Give us a towers mode, but don't give me virtual currency and my faction cards, but do something like this, a traditional towers mode like a Mortal Kombat, like a Street Fighter, like an Injustice. Let me beat round after round and get more unlockables to apply in the base game, like t-shirts and icons and things of that nature, and the reskins of different wrestlers. Unlocking that, I can get better attires on different wrestlers that I like, and it makes me want to replay it to make sure I'm getting all of the rewards. They could also do a lot of different things here with this mode, because all we're seeing from this on-screen demo here is just Beat the Elite singles and putting on the different difficulties. They can easily introduce tag team, if they add more tag teams into the game, that is. But they could do a tag team towers. They could do triple threat, fatal 4-way, battle royal, lights out. They could just spin it in different ways and maximize all of the modes. Ladder, beat the elite on ladder matches and have to go through 10 ladder matches. It's not what I want to do, but you know what I mean? The more match types that they include in this, they can keep applying it into this, and they can keep adding more of the rewards over time. More creation suite rewards, more arena templates, more things of that nature to get players to come back. If it's only for singles matches right away, once again, my fear is they don't have enough content to keep you coming back long term. How many players are going to do this, put it on the hardest difficulty, and beat it and get every reward in a day? This is where Stadium Stampede, I felt, didn't have enough in it for longevity, and players dropped out very, very quickly. But if they can add to it, and add to it every couple of weeks, I think this mode could do a lot for the game, bringing players back and getting more unlockables is a win. But if they only introduce singles matches for this season, and then season 2 they say here's the tag team beat the elite mode, and the gaps are too big between seasons, that's where you start losing players in my opinion. But where you might gain some players is with new match types. The user Lynch Reborn on Twitter, or X, highlighted that within the game code, it looks like we are going to be getting cage match. This is huge news. This is wonderful news. I've been clamoring for cage match. So many people out there that even bought the game, tried the game out, scratched their heads as to why this wasn't included from day one. Now, is this going to be paid for update or anything like that? No, this should be just included in the next patch update, whenever that is, when it drops with season 2. If there is code for cage match, wonderful. I really hope this is not just going to be one-on-one cage match. They're gonna put a cage match in there. It's not gonna be enough if it's just gonna be one-on-one and they don't put in tags and trios and fatal four-ways. The number of players is not changing. You're just putting the architecture for a cage over top of it and around it. Like, it ain't that much. Cage matches should have been there day one for the game's release. Baffling that it wasn't, and it limited the core game. The fact that they're adding it now, wonderful, because that tells me that the devs are trying to listen to the players. I wish there was more communication from the dev team to the user base, to creators, to everybody outside, to let them know where we are going, where we're progressing. But it does sound like with the latest patch 1.07, the amount of updates and fixes they did, the leaked information regarding having a cage match brought into the game, that tells me that they're on a good path. They're starting to listen. But once again, as I asked for this episode, is it enough for you? Is it going to be enough to get a couple extra wrestlers, a cage match, beat the elite challenge mode? Is that enough for you to come in regularly? It's enough for me to come back in and try it out for a week and see how it plays. I want to play the game. More wrestling games, the better. We all win. But it needs to do more, I feel, and I worry that players will still drop off and not have a large enough incentive to get in there regularly. But there's still more news and there's still more hope, and that is coming in with customization and Create an Arena, and they look to be dropping the brand new AEW Dynamite Arena with Season 2. This is great news. We've talked about this on a previous video. We have the footage here of Tony Storm in a match, and you could see AEW Dynamite, the updated arena. I hope it's not just Dynamite. I hope they're using this template for all of the pay-per-views, and I hope that they give us updated Rampage and they include Collision. This late in the game, Collision's been out for several months now at this point. Just do the basic ramp, the LED display for the Titantron, and give us the logos and the banners for Collision. Does the stage and the designs and the arena options matter so much in this type of game? Not a whole lot. I do see a lot of the feedback online that players are saying this doesn't matter, the entrances are 6 seconds, but you do go outside of the arena a lot in the hardcore matches. And you know what? I want it to stay up to date and modern and keep up with what the current product is. So I think it's a good thing, because if they stayed with the old stage designs, it already felt out of date when the game released. And frankly, when 2K releases a game, WWE so often changes design sets and so on. Game developers can't keep up all the time. That's why we get the creation suite, so we can modernize things and tweak it. Stuff feels out of date on the 2K side, and they don't go in and always patch in a new arena. So this is a positive win, because it shows us they want to keep the longevity of this game going for probably years, because it, by all accounts, it doesn't sound like we're getting a Fight Forever 2 in the near future. It looks like they are going to be doing seasons and dropping more and more DLC and these types of updates. But let's talk about price and that being worth it. We don't know yet what Season 2 is going to cost, but what would you end up paying for it if you were going to get this thing thrown at you in like a week or two? Season 1 is somewhere in the neighborhood of $30 to $40, depending on where you live, where you got the 3 DLC packs and the mini games that are included included in there with the wrestlers. Assuming that's done and they're not doing more mini games, I wonder what it's going to cost players. If they're going to stick around the $30, $40 mark to pay for a season 2 and you're getting 3 wrestlers to kick it off with the Acclaimed and Tony Storm, and then they announce the next batch of releases for wrestlers. I don't know if that's enough. I would probably almost hold back myself personally if all I knew was I'm gonna get more wrestlers with season 2, because I'm looking for more changes within the fundamentals of the core game. I'm happy with the roster, and that's where the communication piece comes in. If they can communicate to players that they are going to be doing multiple DLC packs, explain to us when they are going to be released and who is included in all of the DLC packs and what to expect, so we know the best value and what the value is of these packs and what the season pass is worth. Then you might get more and more players coming in to say, you know what, season 1 is discounted heavily right now. I could get FTR, I could get rest of the DLC for super cheap. Maybe now I will pick up season 2. I love the cage match that it's going to be coming into the game. Beat the Elite sounds like it has a lot of promise, but is it enough for you?